There are violent video games, and then there's Manhunt, a game so brutal, so unrelenting, that it was banned in multiple countries, blamed for real-life crimes, and nearly got its own creator shut down. But was it really the most violent game ever made? Or was it just ahead of its time? Today, we take a deep dive into the game that turned brutality into an art form, changed gaming forever, and remains one of the most controversial titles of all time. Welcome to Manhunt. Manhunt is not just another violent video game. It's designed to make you feel like a participant in a twisted snuff film. You play as James Earl Cash, a death row inmate who's been executed, but instead of dying, he wakes up in a grimy, run-down city controlled by a sadistic filmmaker known as the Director. The premise? Kill or be killed. Cash is forced to murder his way through gangs of deranged psychopaths, with the Director watching and giving instructions through an earpiece. Every kill is filmed as part of an underground snuff movie for the entertainment of wealthy elites. The more violent and gruesome your execution, the higher your score. But what truly sets Manhunt apart is its execution system. This isn't a simple run-and-gun shooter, it's a game that rewards brutality. Every melee weapon has a 3-tier execution system. Quick, violent, and extreme. Manhunt forces the player to think before each kill. You don't just kill enemies, you stalk them. You hear them breathing. You listen to their footsteps. You see them panic when they realize they're being hunted. And then you decide how far you're willing to go. The game doesn't just show violence, it makes you an active participant in it. That's what makes it so different. That's what makes it so unsettling. From the moment it was released in 2003, Manhunt sparked outrage worldwide. It wasn't just violent, it felt real. The way the game forced players into the mind of a cold-blooded killer made it feel too immersive for comfort. And that's where the controversy began. It was banned in multiple countries, including New Zealand, Australia, and Germany. Politicians and media outlets called it a murder simulator. But things escalated further when the game was linked to a real-life murder. In the UK, a 17-year-old named Warren LeBlanc brutally killed his 14-year-old friend, Stefan Pekira, using a knife and hammer. The media immediately blamed Manhunt, claiming that the game had influenced the killing. Stores pulled the game from shelves. Parents protested. Rockstar Games found themselves at the center of yet another moral panic. But here's the thing. The game wasn't even found in the killer's possession. Police later clarified that the victim's parents were mistaken, and there was no actual link between the game and the crime. But by then, it didn't matter, the damage was done. Manhunt's reputation was permanently stained, and it became one of the most infamous games in history. And then came Manhunt 2. If the first game was controversial, the sequel was outright banned in multiple countries before it was even released. This time, Rockstar pushed the violence even further, introducing electrocution, eye gouging, and brutal surgical mutilations. Ratings boards around the world refused to approve the game. In the US, it was given the dreaded adults only AO rating, meaning no major retailer would sell it. Rockstar was forced to censor the game, adding blurry filters and darkened effects to executions just to get it released. But even with the censorship, the controversy killed Manhunt 2. It was a commercial failure. Rockstar never returned to the series, and Manhunt became a forgotten relic of a time when video game violence still had the power to shock. Despite the bans, despite the outrage, Manhunt became a cult classic. Over the years, it gained a dedicated fan base who appreciated its dark, psychological horror and unique stealth gameplay. It was one of the first games to make violence feel personal. Unlike Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty, where killing enemies feels detached, Manhunt forces you to see the consequences of every action. You aren't just pressing a button, you're executing someone in the most graphic way possible, and its influence can still be seen in games today. The brutal melee combat of The Last of Us. The dark, unsettling atmosphere of Outlast. The hyper-violent aesthetic of Hotline Miami. Even Hitman owes something to Manhunt's stealth-based execution system. But here's the real question. Could a game like Manhunt be made today? Games have become bigger, more cinematic, and more detailed than ever. But have we become numb to violence? With games like Mortal Kombat pushing the limits of gore, would Manhunt still shock players the same way it did in 2003? Or has the industry changed too much for a game like this to ever exist again? Manhunt was more than just a violent game. It was an experiment, a test of how far a player was willing to go. It wasn't about mindless shooting or flashy combat. It was about power, fear, and control. It put you in the role of a cold-blooded killer and made you question your own actions. That's what made it so disturbing. That's what made it so controversial. So, was Manhunt too violent for its time? Or was it just misunderstood? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time, stay in the shadows.